This video demonstrates a bubble sort in the Alice programming environment. Here in the scene editor are 9 bipeds lined up. They will be sorted according to height, from left to right, the smallest to the tallest. With the 9 positions where they will end up are 9 object markers shown here as axes. These will be invisible during the animation. The turtle is a leader that will make a couple of statements during the animation. First, let's see it run. The turtle says to line up by height, and then the sort begins. What is happening here is that the tallest biped is bubbling up towards the right-hand side of the line, producing 2 parts to the line, a sorted section on the right and an unsorted section on the left. As the algorithm continues, the sorted section becomes longer and the unsorted section becomes shorter until the entire line is sorted. Nice work, says the turtle. Now let's look at the code that makes this happen. Here is my first method. There's an initial delay to allow the scene to be viewed before action begins. The leader then instructs the bipeds to line up. The bubble sort procedure is called. Another delay to see the results of the sort, and then finally the leader says, "Nice work." Looking at the Scene class tab, it lists under Procedures the bubble sort procedure. The scene objects are shown, the bipeds and the object markers. And down at the bottom there are 2 arrays that have been created, a bipeds array containing the bipeds and an object markers array containing the object markers. Next, we'll look at the bubble sort procedure. The bubble sort procedure consists of 2 loops, an outer loop and an inner loop, both while loops. Each loop has its own index, an outer index here and an inner index here. They both start at 0, and the whiles have a condition that they check. The outer one goes through array length -2, and the inner one array length -2 minus the outer index. The outer loop is where the tallest icon will be bubbling all the way up, and the inner loop actually bubbles a particular icon with each iteration of that loop. Looking at the inner loop here, we see, using the inner index, we get a left biped and a right biped, which are consecutive next to each other in a particular place in the line, and we get their height, and we compare the left height to the right height. If the left height is greater, then they have to be swapped. First they're swapped in the scene, and then they're swapped in the array. Swapping them in the scene involves finding the appropriate object marker positions to move them to, and moving them to those object markers. Swapping them in the array involves a temporary biped variable, and then assigning the right biped to the inner index position, and then the temporary biped, which is the left, to the next slot, inner index +1. At the end of each loop, their index is incremented. Again, we'll watch it run one last time. Again, you can see the consecutive swaps, the bubbling up that occurs. It gives this sort its particular name, a bubble sort. And you can see the motion occurring in the unsorted portion, whereas the sorted portion is stable because there's no more action necessary over there. Nice work, and that is a bubble sort.